Have to press the right buttons to get on. That's what I got to do. So welcome everybody, and welcome to those who are watching the replay. My name is Mary Jane Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, and I'm not sure if I'm rocking this hairdo or what's going on because it's kind of bothering me. Not sure if I like it or not. Let's go about the hair today because I think that's easier. Actually, the hair is a good analogy to get into about what's going on with the energies right now. It's too much with what's happening. Welcome to Capricorn energy. Good morning. Thank you everybody for joining me. Get your coffee, your tea, your water. I need a salt bath. It's what's going on with the energies. Oh, Candace, come, have a seat on my couch. Let's get into this. We're in for a rock and ride. That's what we're in for, sort of. So it's where this morning the thing that I was feeling a lot of anxiety. I was feeling anger. Anger came in. Yes, anger was a big one. I just didn't want to do things. I want to do it my way and having a little pouting fest. But in comes the energies that are telling me that, okay, you want to do it your way, but is your way going to get you to where you want to go? Is what you want to do right now going to get you to what you are striving for? And that was the big question that came in this morning. And as I was thinking, it was like, no, I got to reroute. I got to start to rethink things. And it is about restructure. This is about looking at repairing. This is looking at all of this energy of reforming, rebalancing. Okay, that's a lot of this energy that's coming in, and we have to look at what we need to maybe repair. What do we need to make a stronger foundation for ourselves? And this form, this structure, and restructuring what's going on in our own personal life and how it's going on out there. Hang on, my son has just left and let's answer this phone call while I'm online here. Hello?
Hi.
Yeah.
You know where exactly Grandpa's gravesite is?
I do, but I will text you it, or I'll talk to you in a little bit where Grandpa's grave is. It's
okay.
It's easy.
I feel like it's something I kind of have to do.
Okay, yeah, it overlooks Okanagan Lake. It's in the veteran part of the graveyard.
Yeah, it's on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's something I gotta do.
So. Okay. Well, yeah.
One of the reasons I'm going.
So yeah, so go and when you get there, it'll be easy to find.
Yeah, I'll tell you when I get there.
Okay.
I'll just tell you when I get to the camp, so you know I'm there.
All right, sounds good, Eddie.
Okay,
bye. Mr. Independence. So there, had to answer that call. Sending your son. Yes, he's going home to Penticton. That's our home base is Penticton. Anyways, hair everywhere. Stop, Mary. So here we are. We're coming in, and when Saturn was in Aquarius, we thought, cool, we can get things done. There's some objective to all of this. We can start doing things. We can start bringing things together. Saturn in Aquarius brought us a little bit of hope, maybe a little bit of delusional energy. It was in April. Was it April? Hold on. I got this all written down because I went through my notes. And when Saturn was in Aquarius, was when Jupiter Pluto met, but that was when the first suggestion about lockdown. Let's get things going. Let's get things locking down. So that was in around March. And this is where it's like, okay, well, we're not too sure on how things are going to go. That is that March energy, or that Aquarius energy. We're not too sure, but we're going to figure it out on the way. Now, as he stopped, and then he stopped at 1 degree, got a looked around and thought, hey, I forgot some stuff. And now it's retrograded back, came back into Capricorn last night. Boom. Here we are, full on Cap energy. And this is where, yesterday, and I was talking to you a little bit about this. This is where we have to start looking at. We have to look at this energy that's coming in. There is a hidden agenda. There is this occult ascending energy. And what occult means, so for those who don't freak the fuck out, means secret, means hidden energy, means something is hidden. So there's some hidden energy that's coming in. There's a hidden agenda that we are unable to see. And this is full on Capricorn energy. This has to do with restructuring, form, structure. What are we restructuring? What does it look like? This is a patriarchal system. This is boundaries. This is putting in boundaries. And what that is. This has to do with time and space, right? So when you get into Capricorn, where you thought, oh, I can just go by the seat of my pants. I'm just going to put it out to the wind, and however it happens, happens. Sorry, this is not that energy. If you've been, and I've been saying the cement is drying. This is where it's like, if you have not been putting in foundational work, if you've not been doing your karmic work, or starting to look at and saying, that's where I want to go, that's my direction, or start following what you need to put in for your business, because this is Capricorn, this is Saturn, this is coming in. It's saying, what have you been putting in? Have you put in that foundation? Have you been doing the work? If you haven't, you're going to find that, oh my God, what's going on? How can I work this? This is where, a lot of things are going to start to come up, because this is all with restructuring society, restructuring how things are done. And I was talking to my daughter yesterday with all of this, and I said, you're going to have to think about homeschooling, because she already got information from the school that they're only going to be letting one class in at a time, certain times. So, kindergarten here, grade 1, grade 2, whatever. So they're only going to allow, but the kids aren't allowed to mingle, and they're not allowed, and they're in the classroom all day. So there won't be outside play. That's what they're mandating right now. And I'm just like, so we're looking at a little boy who likes to move around and talk and mingle. So they're looking at children having to sit and do the work. Play here, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Very Saturn Capricorn. This is how you were supposed to work. This is how you're supposed to do it. That's the outside structure. This is what's coming forward. This is what we have to look at. How are you going to work with this? How are you going to play this game? This is about looking at. And we also have with it, on the surface, we got that Mercury retrograde in Cancer. The sun is in there, and this is in water. This is where it's like, okay, what do we want to build? Does this feel right? Is this where I want to go? The thing is that if you've been sitting there and wondering like, I just want to stay in my bed all day, or I don't want to get off my couch. This has been, I'm fine getting the money I need. I'm fine doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to do anything other than what I am doing now. I'm fine. Do you think the government still has money? Where are they getting that money? I was mentioning that where are they getting all this money? Where is this money coming from? And then are they expecting the people they just gave the money to who don't have money to repay it back? So what does that mean? What is that? So this is what we have to start looking at. And it is emotional. There's a lot of emotion. But we have two big dudes. Pluto and Saturn are both Satan in different forms. One is Hades. Saturn is Satan, is Kronos. He eats his children. Pluto throws you in the bowels of hell. We have both of them in Capricorn. Jupiter doesn't have power. South Node in Sag. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, but the South Node is there. Jupiter really doesn't have power to do what he wants to do. He's in Dad's house. He's restricted. There's restrictions. I want this done now. This is how I want it done. I want all of this changed around. You haven't changed your sheets when? I want the sheets bleached. I want them ironed. I want them done like this. Boo, 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 boo. This is the energy coming in. And for those of you who are like, fuck you, I ain't doing that, you're going to find a very harder resistance. You're going to have restrictions really put upon you. And the other thing with Saturn, a lot of people, this thing came up. Oh, they download it and they're following you with the coronavirus. Well, you can turn that on or turn it off, whatever it is. Do you not think they haven't been following you? Have you not noticed when you Google something and all of a sudden you go back on Facebook, that what you were looking at is popping up with ads everywhere? It's there. How do you want to play the game? That's where this is coming in. How do you want to bring this forward? Because we also have with that Aries conjunction with Chiron, with Mars conjuncting, Chiron, this is really bringing in a lot of intensity. But there's a way, and the thing is that it's not all negative. This isn't negative. This is telling you, this is someone saying, here's the law. This is what it's about. What are you going to do? So let's say you have a business at home. I have to have a business license. I buy certain items. I have to have a GST. That's just part of the law. I followed it. And now it's following, what else do I have to mandate? Well, if I bring people into my house, I have to make sure that I have sanitizer. I have to make sure that there's masks. That's part of the protocol. That's the rules if I'm going to have somebody coming into my house to see me. So I choose not to. I choose not to do that. If I go into a place where I'm going to be working at, right now it's not mandated that I have to wear a mask, but it is that we have to be at least 2 meters apart or, a length apart, a table width apart to talk to that person. And then everything gets sanitized after they leave. That's a mandate. That's what has to be done. You can argue it. You can stamp your feet. You can be a little child about it. And that's Mars and Aries. I don't want to do it. I'm not wearing a mask. And have that temper tantrum. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Masks are bad for you. Masks are good for you. You can fight it. It's that Gemini energy. You can do it or not do it. But if the law is coming down that says this is what you do and this is the outside world, then that's what you got to look at and that's what you got to abide with. What you do within your own personal life, personally in your world, this is your structure. What is your structure in your world? Who are the people that you have around you? How are you making your structure work? This is looking at your emotional nature. This is an energy that can actually cause a lot of people going crazy, a lot of things and a lot of emotions coming up, especially since we're having a full moon lunar eclipse. And they're going to be seeing that in parts of the United States. I wouldn't look at it, by the way. Just an FYI, I'll get into that in a moment. But this is a powerful time. On the flip side of what Capricorn is with Saturn is ritual, is bringing in ritual, is setting up and making your altar, is coming down and doing that. If anybody's ever been to a Catholic Mass, it's the same. This Mass is basically the same. You know, what you do as you come in, you genuflect, because we know that in the sacristy, in there, when that candle is lit, it's a little red holder. We know that Christ is there. That's a belief system. You genuflect out of reverence and respect and go into your pew and do your prayers before Mass. We know when to stand. We know when to sit. We know when to kneel. There is a ritual to all of this. There's a ritual to the consecration of the gifts and the blessings of them. That is part of the ritual. What is your ritual that you're bringing into your life? That is going to be so important. What are you maintaining for you in order for you to work with what's going out? That means that if you are going out to work, what is mandated of you to go out to work? You may not like everything, but you know this is what you need to do. I haven't liked the past week or so. Headaches out control today. And we're in this for 5 months. 5 months. 5 months, people. This is preparing. This is the last leg. Okay? When Pluto entered in 2008 and entered Capricorn, that was the starting. 2007, end of Sagittarius. Pluto, end of Sagittarius. Pluto, Jupiter conjunction. Pluto, Jupiter just basically went by. Ring! Change, opening. That was at the galactic center. There was an opening there. There was travel. There was all of this energy. It was open. We could go, we could come, we could do, we could whatever it was, right? Now we're coming in where now it's like, okay, we're given, this is where you got. We gave you all these chances, 2007. Now we're coming to a close. Have you been working at what you needed to work at? Are you doing what you needed to do? This is bringing in, that time and space. That's what Jupiter, Pluto, Capricorn, when they come into there with Saturn, it is to do with time and space. We're coming in an expansive, beautiful, like we were this expansive soul into this 3D reality. Even though there's an ascension to the 4 and the 50, yes, but you still have to deal with this world. You can be ascended to 4 or 5. It's like the tale of the Chinese proverb. It's like, yes, I can be acknowledged. I can get all of everything that I need to know. I'm generalizing. But you know what? The cows still need to be fed. The bathroom still needs to be cleaned. I still have to make dinner because I live in this world. I came in this world to learn. I came into this world to understand. We still have to do the work that we need to do. If you want to sit on your bed all day and say, oh, but I just want to, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I'm sorry. There is no more Kumbaya. There's no more holding hands. This is work time. If you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to really, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this, and I'm going to follow what I need to follow. You're going to find things like 2021 is going to give you something a little bit different. Yes, there's going to be some other craziness coming in there, but besides that, but this is where it's like, okay, if I'm going to do the work, if I have to do what I need to do, this is what I need to do. This is not a time to be a rebel. And there's a lot of people I see out there. It's like people are writing things about, do you know Canada is not a sovereign country? And why the fuck are we? Well, then why are you here? Like, I'm sorry. You get a lot of benefits living in Canada. You don't like it? Move. Right? You don't like it? Maybe become a part of Parliament, right? This is where the work just needs to get done. Astrology is scary right now. And this is where it's like opening up. This is where it's opening up. And this is where we need to grow up. This is where our expansion is. This is to opening up with love. Just opening up with love. You might not be understanding everything, but you got to open up with love. And this has to come together. We're coming together. This is the end of this journey. So think of the end of this journey. Think of this, you are at the end, or the last, I'm thinking of weight loss. So the last 5-10 pounds you want to lose. Oh, I've already lost, so much. What's the last 10 pounds? It's usually the hardest to lose. I just had something go like this. It's just the hardest to lose. Whatever it is just allowing yourself to say, no, I've come this far. Or the last part, in a marathon, they hit a wall. And they know when they hit that wall, it's like, holy shit, this is going to be hell. But I want to make it to the finish line. I've worked damn hard to get to where I am right now. I'm going to continue on. And this is the hardest part. This is your belief systems. Looking at what you think that you believe. And this is no throwing it to the wind. This isn't throwing it into the wind. This is where, if you've been doing where it's been like 2007, we moved to Calgary. We moved to Calgary for a better start, in order for my husband to find a better job, the whole bit. Man, it wasn't exactly an open galaxy for us. It was a lot of crazy ups and downs and turmoils and all of this nuttiness, but we stayed to what we needed to do. We held the course. We held the course. I was coming into it saying, you know what, I really need to do my business, off and on, off and on. Finally, it just like, boom, you got to do it. You got to stay the course and do what you got to do. You got to go through it. And you got to go through that right door. It's not that you're going through and opening every single fucking door. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's like, no, that's the door that I know I want to go into. That's where I'm going forth. Saturn, Capricorn. This is what you need to start looking at. What is in your home? Your home. What's happening? And this is where it's all, and Saturn coming in. No South Node. This is like full on Cap energy. No more, this is where we have to look at and what makes sense to you. Outside there may not be making sense. But what's making sense in my world? What's making sense in my business? What do I need to do to continue my business to grow, to continue what I need to do? So if there's a job, if there's something that you want to go for, then you look at, okay, if I'm going to go and work for that company, I'm going to apply. This is what I'd like to do. This is what I want to do. This is just looking at it. Saturn, reminder, destiny is there. We also, Aries and Mars and conjuncting with Chiron doesn't always look the way you think. There's a lot of checks and balances that you have to do. And Capricorn is order. Mars and Aries, do what I want. I want to do it this way. Well, then you're going to find heavier restrictions on you. This is where it's like, okay, if this is how this is being played, what is it? I don't, this is where it's like, I don't want to be, if you don't think Kronos isn't going to eat his babies, and I know that's a bad analogy but this is where it's like, this is what we need to start putting together. If you want to be a book writer, are you writing? Are you putting it out there? Like, it's like, yeah, I want to be a book writer. Well, are you writing your book? Are you putting the notes down? Are you sitting there each day doing what you need to do? Are you putting that energy towards that or not? This is what you got to start looking at. And this is where the energies are going to be fine. Okay, you're doing it. You're doing your checks. Okay, here we go. This is what's going to come in for you. We're in this pattern. We signed up for this world karma. And this energy is all about patience. Remember I said patience is in the ICU, and all patience needs is more patience. So we are in the patience. And it is difficult. It's not easy to have patience. It's not easy to wait. And there is this energy that's coming in, and we have a lunar eclipse, full moon. that's happening on Saturday. And they are going to make my little segue. If you want a reading on Sunday, if you want your reading on Sunday, I'm going to limit it to 10 people. And I'm going to do my moon readings. They'll be recorded. They're going to be sent to you. They are not a one-on-one, you book an appointment. I record the reading for you and I send it out to you on Sunday. If you want one, they're $25. So there's $25 for these readings. I'm only doing 10. That's it. So if you want to pre-order now, so this is your best bet, is to pre-order for your reading for Sunday. Just an FYI. So because I found last time I did that, a lot of people were like, well, can I get a reading? Can I get a reading? And I'm just like, well, I've done all my readings for today. I can't do any more. So I'm limiting it to 10. So if you're wanting, DM me, let me know that that's what you want. And you got to send the money. Sorry. You could, it's like I'm in. So the thing is that you have to send, it's like, okay, I'll put your name down. She sent. That's how I do it. Right. And, I better do this. E-transfers. Or PayPal. Or PayPal, and you can do paypal.me. So, either or. So in doing that, and the thing is that, thank you, Chantal. Thank you, everybody. The reason I'm doing that is that because this lunar eclipse that's coming in. Now, if we go back to when the Constitution was written, because this is opposite the Americans' sun, this is their solar return. The reason they didn't, this energy is exactly the energy on July the 2nd of 1776. There's a reason why Benjamin Franklin, because he had the Farmer's Almanac, said, hey, let's wait 2 days. Let's wait to get that moon out of Capricorn. Let's just let it go into Aquarius, because Capricorn is restrictions. It's like, no, this is what we don't want. We don't want this in our world. We don't want this. We are moving away from that ruling. That's why they did it on July the 4th. Now, this energy that's coming in right now. Hang on, my son's calling again. Eddie?
Mary?
Yeah, I'm live. What do you?
It's like a 6-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
6-7 hour drive?
Thereabouts, yes.
Okay.
So.
Google Maps will tell me it's 10 hours.
Well, yeah.
It's not 10 hours to Penticton.
No, it's. Well, just when you go through Revelstoke and Golden, make sure you do the speed limit, because the cops are always in and around Golden.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But
so.
I was just asking, because it's like a 6-7 hour drive, right?
Well, I can usually make it by then. I'm not saying I speed.
I'm not trying to get pulled over, but
yeah.
Get there 6-7 hours.
Yeah. So, but just
9 hours and 45 minutes, like almost a 10-hour drive. Like there's zero chance.
Just take your time. Just go with it. You'll be fine.
Oh, like I haven't done this drive before.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there's no way it's that long.
Okay. All right, but I gotta go, sweetheart.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. A Gemini driving by himself is not a good thing. Just an FYI. I'm going to have quite a few phone calls today, because Geminis aren't very good at he has to have a conversation by himself. That's very funny. So, but this is where we're at. And now for this new moon, or this full moon, I would not put out crystals. This is not a time to put out your crystals. So don't put out your crystals for charging. Sage your crystals, bury them in salt. Don't put them out on this, in this energy, please. Because behind this energy, you got to understand what's behind the energy of this moon. Saturn and Pluto. And what are Saturn and Pluto? They're not exactly always positive, happy-go-lucky. They're the Mafia brothers, remember? Your boys did the same thing. Yeah. It's like, and if I didn't answer his call, it's like him knocking at the door. He's like, Mom. So anyways, but this is where this energy is. So I remember when I was talking about Saturn and Pluto being the Mafia brothers, they're the Mafia brothers without the South Node. That means all of a sudden the police are gone. This is what I'm doing. This is what I am deciding to do. And I'm fucking doing it. You don't like it? So there's a lot of evil, I'm going to say, behind this moon. So this is one of the reasons. Don't put your crystals out in that moon. Okay, this isn't the moon. Okay? I don't care what other spiritualists tell you. I don't care what other people say to you. Mama said don't do it. Okay? And so far I haven't been wrong, so don't do it. Sage them, put them under, put them around, bring some selenite in, and you can charge them that way. All right? So bring that in. That's going to charge them. So this is, and this moon, this moon is a moon of coming. It's like the image I get with the energies that are coming in is when the witches would meet in the middle of the forest. And as they met in the middle of the forest, they would come into the middle of the forest. And as they would come into the middle of the forest, this is where they'd have their meeting place. It'd be secret. It would be dark. This is where they would do their gatherings. This is where they'd come together to do their spells and do what they need to do. So this is a time of gathering, but I feel like it's a gathering in a ritualistic secret way and bringing that energy. This is a time, what kind of candle do you want? So let's go with, let's say, a purple or a blue candle. Or white. White would be fabulous. This is where it's like, how am I going to, so if you have a candle, this one's lit. Let me just, hang on, I am bringing this candle. I haven't scribed it yet. So with this candle, the candle's lit. You can put your markings on. So what do you want to put on the side of your candle? What kind of protection? This is about protection. What kind of protection do you want to start putting up in and around you, your family, your business? What do you want to start bringing in? This is you starting like, okay, this is what I can control. What am I putting at my front door for protection? This is time to get your witchy on, girls and boys. This is a time of saying, okay, there's a lot of crazy shit going on out there. But I'm going to come in because Capricorn, because if we want to go into Hermetic ritual is like, this is when we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. So have a plan, have something in order to create what it is that you want. That's where the energy is. This isn't the fairy. Well, fairies are kind of organized, but this isn't the acid trip fairies. That's what I'm going to call them. The acid trip fairies, like, hey, I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to do it and create what I want to create. That's not what it is. This is the energy of saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to utilize what I can to bring down what I need. So this is methodically putting together your plans on what you want to do. I want to utilize this energy to help to structure, to help to create. If you're wanting a foundation needs a structure. It needs the footings. What are your footings? What are the 4 footings you're putting in? What are you putting in those footings? What are you laying down before you lay the cement, right? So this is what I want to start doing. That's what this energy is doing. So if you're just doing willy-nilly, whatever, on the seat of my pants and fucking around, it's not going to work. This is about structure. This is getting into the Hermetic. Okay? This is Hermetic alchemy. This is the time of saying, okay, this is what I want to do. So when I think about this, and I am, I'm thinking about even when in 1861, the United States, I believe, was going to infiltrate or try to take over over Canada at the time. And this is where it's like, no, let's start making our plans. I know what they're doing out there. This is what I'm going to do to fortify and secure our land. Same down there. This is what I'm going to do to fortify our land. In 1770, this is what we're going to do to fortify, to create a new nation. A new nation that's going to bring in what we need to bring in. Not underneath the rule of the king. So this is where this energy starts coming in. This is bringing in your balance, the black and the white, the yin and the yang. This is looking at the positive and the negative. This is looking at this balance and creating that balance. Now, when you start using Jupiter and Pluto and start to use that in the alchemy, they're like, hey, okay, I get where you're going. Let's go to the higher end. Let's go to the phoenix. Let's go to the rising part. That's where we want to tap into. The craziness is there, yes, but we want to bring in the alchemy. We want to bring in that, because this is Capricorn. This is about institution. This is financial. Uranus, haven't gotten to him. He's at 10 degrees. Taurus, this is structure. And what this is like, Uranus is electrical. He's sending these probes into the earth, changing things up, shaking things up, shaking the foundation, shaking the structure up. Capricorn's trying to fill in where it needs to fill in and rebuild. So it's like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to create. This is where we got to come in, where we come in, and this is like, where we are building upon. When we're building upon this structure, we are building upon that it's going to supersede the next 7 generations. That's where this is coming in. We are coming in, and of course, what's coming up? Well, what's happened in the last 7 generations? It's going back hundreds and hundreds of years. A lot of people, that doesn't make any sense. Well, people are still, there's DNA, your DNA. There's a reason why you came into this lineage, into this line, to create, to work on, to heal, whatever it is. You may not be in that homeland. You might not be where it was, but you are here to create. You are here to rebuild and to do it better. And to build it, and so you can supersede the next 7 generations. This is where, when you're coming into this, you're coming into the elder, you're coming into that energy. This is coming into your source. Where is your source energy? Coming down and coming forth. This is the ultimate. This is the rebellion against the highest authority. My ego, I don't want to do that. But how can I work with it? Because my ego, my higher authority ego, can get me into trouble. If I get into that, I don't want to do what you said. Instead of coming in and saying, let me put into this foundation. Yes, I got to get up and do my prayers and my meditation, my journaling. I'm still doing my cacao ceremony. It's very important for me. Doing that, I laid off, and tomorrow it's like, okay, yes, I reset my alarm. I'm going back into the flow, going into my exercises and doing things like that. Still doing my 40-day ceremony. This is where it's coming in. This is where it's coming in, where it's like, okay, with that Leo is like the I, me, creative, but this is about expression. This is to grow up. This is the growing up. This is the impact that's coming in. This is where we are starting to create. This is comforts in our life. We want to stay comfortable, but this is getting us uncomfortable. In order to make the change, you have to get uncomfortable. This is where it is. This is where this connection is. We got to understand that the node's connection is the connection to the divine. Where do you want to ascend to? That's the Gemini. Gemini's the ascension. Coming into, what do I need to look at in my realm? We're coming into this next 29 degrees, 2 months. It's not, moving, very fast. And then we got Neptune. Neptune is in retrograde, deception. So what do we look beyond there? We got to look beyond that deception. Look beyond, because I'm looking into my higher self in my alignment. And when I look into my higher self in my alignment, then I can look into, yes, I can see the physical unstable in many levels, but behind there, I know that there's Saturn, Pluto, and they're squaring Uranus. Saturn, he's squaring his dad. Then he has his son in his side. He's like, family, fuck it all. This is where we got to deal with a world that is not stable. This is where the more you try to handle and to stabilize it and think that you're going to have it stable, this is where you're looking at it. This is where we have to start looking at. It was funny, haha. When we had the Jupiter-Saturn in Taurus, and there was a lunar eclipse, and there's something else was going on. Facebook went public. I think it was, 2007, Facebook. And which is like, you don't go public. There's sometimes certain astrological things that you do, and sometimes you don't. Like the crystals, you don't put out this time. This is not a good time to do it. They just recorded, I think, a loss of 63 billion. So it's like, wow, because things are happening with Facebook. There's things that are happening there. Things are unstable, right? But if you stayed the course, so if we take the ones that came in, when .com came in 2000, all these .coms and all these that, a lot of them tanked, right? But the ones who stayed the course, the ones who did the work, the due diligence, I'm going to continue on, I'm going to continue on and continue on. Amazon, they stayed the course. Google, they stayed the course. They built, okay, that didn't work, that worked. That didn't work, that worked. This is what we're doing. They stayed the course. They did the work. They did the due diligence. And where is Amazon today? Whether you like them or don't like them. That's what this energy is. We're finding things that the banks are crunching down. Why are the banks crunching down? People deferred payments. Why am I going to loan you money when you just deferred your payments for 6 months? So they're crunching down. They're tightening. No, we're not doing that. So this is like owning your stuff, owning what's yours. Are you doing it? I think my husband and I, we deferred our payments for a couple months, and I said, no, let's stop. We're not going to defer the payments. We're gonna buckle down. We're gonna pay this shit. And this is where, this is where we have to start looking at. So with Jupiter behind Pluto, all the time, every time Jupiter goes behind Pluto, what does that mean? Recession, depressions, things crash. Fine, let them. And I know that sounds like, oh my God. No, this is where you got to look at, and this is where Mars is like, when Mars and Saturn, when Mars was in Aquarius and Saturn, it was like, get down, let's get things going. Now it's like looking at, we're getting down to business. People who have value, people who know their value. How do you make your mark into this market? Saturn is long term. Saturn is looking at the long term. What is your long term? Where is it? If you're just worried, if you're just like looking at, oh no, I'm just looking at tomorrow. Okay. I get that. This is looking at, what are my plans in order for me to create what I do truly want to create. This is for me, when I look at my own self and things that I'm doing. Oh, well, I want to create a stronger foundation with the astrology. I want to create a strong spiritual foundation. So I'm studying with a beautiful, open reverend in Scotland, out of all places. A beautiful woman named Gail in Scotland. And I'm going to start studying with her next month. That reaching, like, hey, I had to go across the pond. But here's the thing. What you thought how you were making your business, this is where you got to understand the structural changes. What's changing? I said to people back in October, November, and I said, everything has to go online. You got to be virtual. If you're not virtual, it's not going to work. If you're thinking everything has got to be a brick and mortar, no, brick and mortar is nice. It's great. Yes, we're going to still have that, but it's not going to be the way that you thought it would be. Candace, I don't know if Candace is still here, but Candace and I, we were talking about this one time on one of the scopes, and I said I could see, and I think this was back in January or December, not too sure when, but I said, what I see is that all these superstores or Walmarts are personal shoppers in there shopping for other people, filling carts and sending it out. What are we doing now? We have personal shoppers. We order online. There are little personal shoppers out there filling carts and sending it out, or you're picking it up by the curb. That's what I saw. And Candace and I were sort of talking about that, a few months ago. And I kept on seeing it. I know these Walmarts, these big structures are not going to be there. I went to Michael's, and it was just like, to get a pen, that's all. Just needed a pen. The only place that I had it was Michael's. So I went and I got it, but it was my choice to stand in that lineup because their tills had to be social distancing. That's the way it works. That's what we got to do. Okay, if that's what I got to do, then I'm going to do that to get this in order for me to make my runes. So we are in this energy right now. And this energy, it's to go through it. And it's to go through this crazy maze. And this is the self-knowing, and it's allowing yourself to trust the intuition. Trusting where you're going. This is my long-term goal. I know what I'm doing today. These are my top 3 priorities of what I'm doing. These are the top 3 things. These are my steps on what I'm doing in order to create what I want to create. That's setting boundaries. Someone was asking me if they wanted to come in the evenings. My evenings are booked with either classes or family. That's my boundaries. That's my structure. I'm making that my structure. And this is where you have to look at, then I can't come in to see you. Well, you're going to have to find another time, or if here are the times available. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till September, October, if I have those times available then. That's the structure. That's what you're finding out there. This is here. I'm giving you the time. Do you want to do it then? It's like hairdressers. I can take you at this time, and this time. Oh, can't you take me over here? No, I can't. These are the times I have. Come in here. This is what I need to do. This is where it's like saying, okay, I can bitch and complain if I want to get my hair done that I don't want to wear a mask. Well, if I really want to get my hair done, maybe I have to wear a mask to get my hair done at that salon. Or find another place, right? This is where it's like, I want to get my eyebrows done, or people get I don't do my eyebrows, but anyways, people get their eyebrows done. That's what you got to do. So this is just, it's like, okay, we're going to find these things that are coming in. This is where we are going to look at. And we have to allow ourselves to work with this, bring in those rituals, bring in those gatherings where we need to bring in those gatherings, right? And work. This is work. This isn't sleep time. This is the little ants that are coming to the grasshopper. If you guys remember that story about the ant and the grasshopper, on saying, come on, let's get things done. What are you doing? What? Get it done. Let's get going. That's where it's coming in. Whew. We're in for a ride, people. We're in for a ride. But remember, you got to come to the heart. You got to come to the soul. You got to come into here. This is what we're working on. We're working on putting in our structure. And if we can put in a fabulous structure that is going to bring in that harmony and that bliss and do it, okay, this is what we got to do. You want to have this law or this come in? What do you have to do to bring it in? What do you got to do to make the changes to bring it in? It's always to go in the middle, to work to work to make these changes. Sometimes it's hard. It's, sometimes you feel you're going to get beat down, but you got to get up and you got to do it. That's where this energy is coming in. You don't like the way that people are being treated. Okay, you got to show up. This is what I got to do in order to make that change. I got to work within this structure in order to create something new. That's what I got to do. All right? It's patience, a lot of patience. We're in this for 5 months, and I'm here every day just to give you that vibe of love, to let you know that we're here, we're joining together, we're joining with love, we're joining with harmony, and we're bringing in the vitality of our life in order to create a foundation for the next 7 generations. How do you want to create that? It's up to you, and it's up to me. We're all in it. If you want an hour reading, there is my sliding rate from $50, $90, $160. It's up to you. If you're wanting a reading for Sunday, a recorded reading that I send to you, definitely. I'm just looking down. I see some people have already sent. There is probably less than 10 spaces now. I'm going to say maybe there's 6 spaces left if you are wanting a reading for Sunday. So I'm putting it up on my Facebook wall and stuff like that. Sending you guys out so much love. Journey Club is going to be starting in September 13th. Journey Club is my own, and it's $444, and there's payment plans with that. It's 8 weeks. Every Sunday, we're going to be doing it Sunday afternoon for 8 weeks, and it's coming into the alignment of the big F. And that the big F is not fuck you. The big F is forgiveness. This is about learning how to become and stand and understand your alignment with your divine. It is a very powerful 8 weeks, and it is a transformational 8 weeks. So, sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, in all that you do, in all that you be. Let your light shine. Go out there. Be that force of light, of truth, of vitality and harmony in your world today and every day. Okay? Blessed be everybody. Love you so much. And stay the course and be patient. Blessings.